Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am so excited to see all these people and names calling in and being a part of this call tonight. So I'm just curious where everyone is calling in from. I know we are across many different time zones, and if you can find that question box, I'd be interested for you to type in there and let me know. So I've got someone from California. Hi, Lisa. Nice to have you on here. So it's only 6 o'clock there, so I think that's rush hour time in California. Portland, Oregon. Welcome to this call. New Hampshire, Michigan, Pittsburgh. All right, that's where I'm calling in from. Brandon, Manitoba. I love my Canadians up there. Another California, Oklahoma, Minnesota, Dallas, Alaska. Hello, Lynette. I've got a slide about you tonight, so excited that you're on here as well. Michigan, Southern New Mexico, welcome. That's exciting. New York, hello, Deb. Glad to have you on today. Brisbane, Australia. All right, and I wonder what time it is there. I know that is a very far away time zone. So glad that you're on, Trish. Thanks for joining us. Jacksonville, Florida, Southern California, Arizona, Texas, Houston, Ohio. All right. Fort Worth, Louisiana, Indiana. All right. Keep them coming in. So it's 9:03. We're going to give just another minute here, and then we will go ahead and get started. Calgary, Washington, Alabama, San Francisco. All right. I just love seeing all these states and all these names. We were curious if a 9 o'clock call would be a good idea, and it looks like it is. So I thank you for taking time out of your day to spend here with me and forever. I will tell you, my plan was to use my webcam tonight and do a little bit of live interaction where you can see me, which I have to say is a little out of my comfort zone, but that's what I wanted to give for you guys tonight. And something's up with my webcam. So I promise if we do this again, I will use my webcam and say hello to you all. So we're just gonna have to go with my screen that you see here, but hopefully next time we'll do a little live interaction together. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. My name is Shelley Murray, and I am the Executive Sales and Training Director here at Forever. And I've actually been a part of the Forever team since it was founded almost 5 years ago. And I personally am very passionate about what we as a company do on a daily basis to help keep people's, yours, and others' family memories safe. So my role at Forever is to help train our Forever ambassadors to come alongside people like you and help them preserve their photos and their stories. So the person that invited you to this call is your Forever ambassador, and they are well trained and equipped to help you get started with the rewarding process of preserving your memories with Forever. So my goal tonight is to inspire you and to help you get a solid plan in place so you can preserve your memories permanently online and also celebrate them with a printed photo book. So before we get started, I want to do a poll. So this is something new that I'm doing, but I just want to kind of see what our audience is like out there. So I'm going to give you a poll question, and we'll see if you're able to answer that. So the first question is, are you a Forever ambassador? And now the poll is in progress. And you can go ahead and answer yes or no. So I'm just trying to figure out if we have ambassadors on the call, or we have guests on the call, or a little bit of both. All right, so we've got 88%, 89, 90% of you voted. So thank you for voting. And we have 81% yes ambassadors and 19% no ambassadors. So that's exciting to hear. Thank you all for joining tonight. Those of you who are ambassadors, welcome. Those of you who are clients, welcome. We are glad to have all of you here, and I hope that you learned something tonight. All right, next poll question that I have to ask you. Let's see, we're going to close that poll. Is, do you currently, oh, I got to launch it. There we go. Do you currently use Forever to organize, oops, I better read it here, preserve and share your photos? So you get to select one of the answers. Either yes, I am a Forever Storage owner and I am a pro. Or yes, I am a Forever Storage owner, but I haven't used it yet. Or yes, I've been using a free introductory Forever account. Or no, I am new to Forever and excited to learn more. All right, keep voting. And all right. So we've got 87% of you voted. Okay, so 58% of you say yes, you are storage owners and you are pros. All right. 25% of you said yes, I'm a Forever Storage owner, but I haven't used it yet. So I am so glad you're here because I hope I inspire you to get in there and use your Forever Storage account and print some books and do all the great things that we offer with memory keeping. And then yes, I've been using a free intro account. We've got 3% of you. So you may decide to become a Forever owner after tonight. I sure do hope so. And then 13% of you said, no, I'm new to Forever and excited to learn more. So I am so glad that you are here. And I hope that you really get a good picture of what we're doing at Forever to help families preserve their stories permanently online and to share them with printed photo books. All right, so let's close that poll. 94% of you voted, so thank you for doing that. And we have one more to do here. Okay, this is a kind of fun one. How would you describe your computer skills? Select one of the following. I am a whiz on the computer. I can check email, shop on Amazon, and post on Facebook. I got on the meeting here, but that was a stretch. Or I had help getting in the meeting, so I need some help. All right, this is interesting. Keep voting. All right. Okay, 90% of you voted. Awesome. So we've got 67% says I'm a whiz on the computer. 31% say they can check email, shop on Amazon, and go on Facebook, post on Facebook. And 2% said I got into this meeting, but that was a stretch. And 1% I had to have help getting into this meeting. That's okay. Just want you to know that using Forever is so simple that as long as you could get into this meeting and figure that out, you'll have no problems using your Forever Storage account. And I'm going to show you all about that tonight. And if you are that 1% that had help getting into the meeting, you can learn how to do this too. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so tonight's subject of this meeting is creating photo books that breathe life into your family history. Creating a family history printed photo book may seem like an overwhelming process to you, might seem like a big task, but I want you to realize that it's not really when you're using the Forever tools that we have in place. And I want to help you tonight to think through that and to really map it out and figure out how you can bring your family history and your family stories to life. Forever provides permanent online photo storage with all the tools that you need to organize, share, and print your photos. So that's kind of a good definition of what Forever is. If you're new and you're not really sure or familiar with Forever, I'm going to just say that again. So Forever provides permanent online photo storage with all the tools that you need to organize, share, and print your photos. So before you leave here tonight, you are going to have a photo plan in place to tackle this project and complete your printed book. So I want you to take a moment, grab a pen and paper, and I would like you to be sure you're taking some notes as you go. All right, so let me just close out this poll before we move on. Oh, I didn't realize here. Oopsie. Okay, I apologize. I'm new on the poll thing, and I think that it's good now. Let me just make sure if I'm getting a thumbs up here. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, hide results. All right, so I just wanted to see, are you all seeing my screen now? Yes, okay. So we will continue on. All right, very good. So I want to start off here by taking a look at a few examples and a few types of photo books that you can create within Forever. So, tonight we are going to be talking about the family history photo book and talking about that workflow. But the truth of the matter is you can use this workflow for any type of event or special story or vacation or birthday or anything really that's worth remembering and sharing. So let's just take a look at a few of these types of photo books that you might even consider you want to begin with a smaller project like one of these photo books and then get a little experience using Forever Print and then go ahead and complete your family history photo book. So here are just a couple examples. We actually have 28 different templates that are beautifully put together by our Forever artists, including Roxanne Buckles, who leads this whole digital art part of Forever. And we have some just really beautiful templates. This one is called Simple Joy. And as you can see, there's a lot of places for photos and also for text. And you can see the text is already set up for you. So where it says, I love you on the top, it already has a beautiful font ready for you to add. And then the bottom right-hand corner, you can see this boy's name. And again, that font is already pre-done for you. So all the art has already been done. All you need to do is just drop your pictures in and add your text. This one is called Dream Big. And this is a new one that was actually just launched today. And it's beautiful. I'm excited to use this one for my son's sporting things that are going on. Okay, this is a fun one. This is called ABC Playful. This makes a great book for a toddler where you can just add a photo for each letter and they have a great book to learn their alphabet. This one's called Bliss. This is one of my favorites. It's so soft and beautiful and I just love the colors. This is Simple Black and this is a big seller. Just very simple of putting your photos in and letting your photos speak the stories. And then this one is the Modern and Bright Yearbook that goes through the entire year for you to easily just bring in all your photos from the last year so you can remember what you did throughout the year. So that's one of my favorite ones as well. Makes it very easy. So tonight, I'm actually going to give you a how-to lesson. I'm going to show you the tools that we have available at Forever. And I just want to show you how easy it is for you to use these tools so that you can leave here and feel confident about creating your own family history photo book that will look something like this. This is our Vintage Family Memories photo book, and this is the one we're going to be focusing on tonight. And you can see the beautiful digital art on the cover of this page. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to add that photo and how to add that text. But this is just an example of a finished book. We've got a page here. As you can see, we've got the old photos in there. We have the documentation of who's in the photo and even the story that goes along with it. I love this one with the family tree and the family information there. And then I also like the fact that you have plenty of space to add text. That is something that's very important. A lot of you might find that you have more text than you have photos, and that's okay. You just want to be able to tell and share those family stories. But before we do that, I want you to pause and just think for a minute your why. So you must define your why before you can begin with the what and the how. So I'd like to ask you, what's your why? Why did you join us on the call tonight? Why do you have an interest in preserving your family stories through creating a printed photo book? Let me introduce you to a couple of people and show you what their whys are. So this is Lynette Fusner, and I know she's on the call tonight because I saw her name calling in. And she's from Alaska, I'll just mention that. But she created a family history photo book that was so beautiful, and listening to her story about this and sharing about all that she learned about her family and all that she discovered about her family when she put this book together, she said something that I just took away. And I want to share that with you tonight. This is Lynette's why for creating this beautiful family history book for her family. She said, we must remember our roots and make sure that our descendants know more about their ancestors than we knew at the time, and more importantly, that they are not forgotten. So Lynette did a beautiful job creating a family photo book so her ancestors were not forgotten, and she can hand that down to other members of the family and future generations. So let's just take a look at some of the pages of her book. As you can see here, she used a template called Framed, and she just dropped her photos in and then put the information in at the bottom of who the photo was of and described the stories. She was sure to add birth dates and death dates and that type of important information. And she also even used documents. So you can use photos and documents in Forever, and when you're creating these photo books as well. So she was able to create on this page and include a marriage record report from all the way back to 1907. Thank you, Lynette, for sharing this beautiful story with me. Let me introduce you to Kathy Gordon. Kathy Gordon is another Forever ambassador, and she created her own family history photo book. She created a 99-page book, and she used the family vintage template that I'm going to show you in just a moment. But when I was listening to her share her story and her heart passion about what she did to preserve her family story and to teach it and show it and share it with her grandchildren and those coming and future generations, she said something that I thought really stuck out and was important. Her why was, it was important to me to put a printed book together so my children and their children would know our family history and have something to hold on to. It will remind us that we are part of something much bigger and much stronger than we could ever imagine. Our family roots grow deep, and they sure do. And when you take a look at some of these pages in her book, you'll just be so impressed with the time and love that she put into her own book. So as you can see, it looks very similar to the one I showed you a moment ago because she simply dropped in her own photo and added her own text. Again, she selected pages that really matched with the photos that she had and the stories that she was able to tell. I love this one. It's just such a beautiful portrait, and also just needed a little information to go along with that to recognize that this is someone who taught piano lessons and had a gift for music. I just think that's such a beautiful photograph. And then also, again, space to tell the story, space to put all of that story in there and share that information. That's so important. So I also want to give you a scientific why. So I've given you two examples of people who have created photo books, but back in March of 2013, Bruce Feiler of the New York Times printed this article, and there was a study done. And so according to Dr. Marshall Duke of Emory University, he was a clinical psychologist, he actually studied this, and he found that the more children knew about their family history, the stronger their sense of control over their lives became, the higher their self-esteem, and the more successfully they believed their families functioned. In fact, the Do You Know scale turned out to be the best single predictor of children's emotional health and happiness. So I just want to say that it is scientifically proven that sharing our stories and our memories and creating these photo books so kids can learn them and see them and remember the love and share the memories and learn more about where they came from. It helps them to grow up to be more successful in life with a higher self-esteem, knowing who they are and where they came from. So I want to share with you my why. This is my why. So to me, a photograph is the pause button of life. And I'd also like to say a photo book is the pause button of life. I am a very busy person with a very busy family, as are many of you on this call, I'm sure. But between all the kids that I have and working full time and all the things that go on with the kids at school and after school activities and sports and jobs and all of the things that go on in our lives, we are busy. I feel like we run ragged, even through the weekends are busy. But life is very good and we're very blessed, and we do a lot of really fun things together as a family. So I love to create photo books every time something big happens, whether it's a birthday, a vacation, a Christmas, any event, we create photo books. And the reason I create that is because my kids love to reflect. It really is the pause button of life. If you come to my house, you will see photo books in different places in the house. But all of my kids, even the teenagers, grab those books and they sit down on the couch and they just look and read these photo books. And I like to put the stories in along with the photos. They'll take these books to bed at night and read them. And it is the pause button. I recognize it is the time that they stop and they rest and they reflect and they are thankful. They recognize how blessed we are as a family, and they are thankful for the memories that we've made together and memories that we share. And it does draw them together, just like that scientific study said, and gives them a real big sense of belonging. So I want to give you 3 examples from me of the last 3 photo books that I created. All right, so, and I'm going to show you how Forever was a great tool to help me do this and get started. So this is my Forever account. I'm going to describe it for you in a little bit, but this happens to be the library where all the photos are kept. And we were blessed to go on this great trip to New York City after Christmas with my family. And there were, let's see, 10 of us there. And there were 6 kids with all different, they all had cell phones. So everybody was taking all these pictures. And you can imagine how many pictures we had at the end of every day. But I brought all of those pictures together in one spot into my Forever account in the library. And I simply went in and deleted the ones that weren't great. And then my next step was I created albums for each day. And I just brought in the best photos from everybody for each day. So here I had day 1, best photos, day 2, the best photos. And you can see there's not an overwhelming amount, 39 on day 1, 40 on day 2. I brought together a nice size of the best photos to describe the stories and the fun that we had for each of the 5 days. Then I was all set and I was ready to go over to the print project page. And again, I'll show you this in a moment, but in the print project page, I simply chose my template for the book I wanted. I dropped the photos in, I added some text, and then I was ready to print my book in no time. And we were just about home when I was ready to print the book and order it from our trip. And that's one of my kids' favorites because it was a recent one and we did so many amount of time. Okay, so my son, my 10-year-old son, got into wrestling this year. We had a blast with wrestling. So my phone is full of all these wrestling photos from 10 different weekends that we went away to these tournaments. So while I was sitting at tournaments, I was very careful to organize in the Forever app on my phone all of those photos into different albums, one for each of the tournaments that we went to. So then it was very easy to go from there to my printed book. But when I was organizing each of those albums right from my phone, I was also able to tell the stories from each of those tournaments because each tournament had a different story. So in the album, I was able to type in kind of what happened so I would recall those memories. And then it was time to make the photo book. I just went to the template, dropped the photos in, added the text, and the photo book was finished. And I'll tell you, my son, Sam, loved making the photo book with me. He kept saying, Mom, when are we going to make the book? We got to make the book. So the kids will get involved and they'll get excited about it too. Okay, so the last example is my mom has done a fantastic job preserving all of the family photographs going back hundreds of years. She's got so many neat photos from all of our family history. So I decided I would make her a gift and get her a photo book. So this is what I did. So here I'm in my Forever account and I went to friends and family. You can see it's highlighted above. And I actually went to her account because she and I are friends and family in Forever. And I went to her album called My Parents. And then I went and selected photographs from each of these albums. So this is an example of, this is her father. I went into her father's album. I saw all the photographs that she had of her father. I selected the ones that I wanted to use for this photo book. And I decided that I was going to do one on her parents' wedding. So as you can see, I was able to simply copy these right over to my own library and my Forever account, and then work on creating a photo book just for her, just for the wedding of her parents. So this is the front cover of that photo book with that photo in it as the cover. So I love this one. It's a beautiful one called Let's Celebrate. So that was just another example of a quick and easy gift that I was able to give her, bringing her family history and stories back to life through a printed book. So at Forever, we talk about collecting, curating, and celebrating your memories and preserving them for generations. And I really wanted to show you this graphic because it really paints a really good picture of what we do as far as workflow, bringing in your photos, putting some information along with them, and then sharing them through a printed book or just sharing through your friends and family. So let's take just a moment and look at this graphic. So the green section called Collect. That's where you're going to go and bring in all of your photos or your memories, wherever they may be, into Forever. You can do that simply by uploading from your computer. If you have photographs on hard drives or flash drives or CDs, you just pop them in your computer and upload into your account. Maybe you've got a cell phone that is full of photos and you're not sure how to back it up or what to do with those photos. Sync it with the mobile app and bring those in. Maybe you've got outdated media in boxes like old family heritage photos like you saw on my mom's account. We have a media conversion center that digitizes all of that for you and puts it right into the Forever account. So again, Collect is bringing it all together into one place. Curate, once it's in your Forever account, then you're able to organize it. You're able to create albums, add tags, put dates in, add descriptions, tell the story behind those photos. And then the celebrating part, which I'm really excited to talk to you about tonight, is using Forever Print to print photo books to share and to have a hard copy of to share and enjoy and to look at with your family. All right, so I bet you're asking the question right now, well, why do I want to use Forever when there's Shutterfly, Google Photos, iPhoto, Dropbox, Amazon Prime, you name it. Everybody's out there doing photo storage and printing photo books, and there's many options out there. That is true. There are a lot of options out there. However, Forever stands far above all of these places. Forever is completely different from all of these places, and I want to tell you why. Forever is in the business to help you preserve your memories permanently online, not just temporarily, like all of these other companies are doing, but for the long haul. And Forever stands by their promise of permanence. We actually have a guarantee that your photos will be around and in your Forever account for 100 years after your death. And the reason that we have that guarantee is because when you purchase a Forever account, the majority of that money goes right into our fund. It's called our guarantee fund. That's a fully restricted fund. We just take quarterly draws out to maintain your photos on our site. And that fund goes to pay for things like digital migration, which means right now we look at JPEG photos, but 5 years, 10 years from now, we're going to look at something different. It's going to migrate to a new file format. With Forever, every time the file formats change, Forever will automatically digitally migrate everything within a Forever account to that next file format. Also, Forever is completely private. You own all the content in your Forever account. We do not own that content. That is a major difference between Shutterfly, Google Photos, those ones that you see across the top. Those companies actually own, Shutterfly, Google Photos, and Amazon actually own the photos that you put up there, and they use your photos to sell them to third parties to advertise to you. So Forever does not do that. Your information will not be sold to third-party companies, and everything remains private. Also, all of your photos are easily accessible, either on any web browser or in your Forever mobile app. And you have sharing settings, so you can determine what's private, what you mark friends and family, and what's public. Also, preservation settings, you get to determine what happens to your photos upon your passing. So you determine what happens to your account after you pass away, and there's a number of settings for that as well. So I'm not going to go into all of those details, but I did just want to answer that question of why you want to use Forever as opposed to some of those other places. And the last point is Forever offers you some really, really great tools that we're going to look at and talk about tonight to make it so super easy for you. But if you have any questions about this, I just encourage you to reach out to your Forever Ambassador. I know that they'll be able to answer these questions for you. All right, well, let's jump right into it. Let's go ahead and go through our live demonstration at forever.com. We are going to go to the photo books page. So as you can see here, I've logged into forever.com. Across the top, I've got some options up here. If you look to the right, you can see that I've got my account here. We'll talk about that in a moment. But right now, we're just going to take a look at photo books. So yes, you can create beautiful photo books in no time. And you simply choose your style, select your photos, personalize it in order. And as you can see here, these are all the templates to choose from. There's a number of basic templates and then premium ones. The Vintage Family Memories is the one that we're going to be talking through tonight. But Framed is another great one for family history, and Simple Joy is beautiful. We looked at that just a moment ago. But come on over sometime and take a look at all the photo book options that we have available to you. I want to talk for just a moment about our print quality because at Forever, everything that we do is white glove, top of the line, high quality service and products. And if you come here, you can learn a little bit more about the materials that we use. We do use acid-free, ligament-free paper that has been rated by experts to last for generations. Also, we use vibrant colors, and these techniques that we use in photo printing is promising that these techniques are going to last 200 years or more without fading. And we also have a lasting finish. So all of our products are built to last, and they are 100% satisfaction guaranteed. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew that. If you ever have something that you're not 100% satisfied with, you just call us and we will take care of that for you and replace that for you. Oops, the wrong way. Okay. So now is the time that you need your pen and your paper because we're going to go through the photo book planning session. And like I said, Forever is going to make this process quick and easy. All right, so photo book planning step number 1 is gathering and uploading. And we like to call this phase the collect phase. So the first thing you really need to do is decide what you need to tell your family story. And think about this to be specific to the family history book that you're creating. Certainly you may have lots of other things to gather and upload as well, but if you want to focus on this one book, let's just focus on the items that you're going to need to be included in just your family history photo book. And if you can tackle that small project, then you could go around and think, okay, well, what else could I bring into Forever? What are other things? But I want you really just to focus specifically right now on what you would need to be included in that family history photo book. And then you're going to gather those items, you're going to convert them to digital, and then you're going to upload them into Forever. And you may already have them digital. You may already have a lot of important things digitized. And if that's the case, just go ahead and upload them into Forever. If not, Forever does offer media conversion. I'll mention that and show you that in just a moment. But some of the things that you want to look for that you want to gather are family photos, important documents. Perhaps you have letters, telegrams, journals, and newspaper articles, things that are important to your family story that may be still in boxes in the attic. It's time to pull those out and go through them and preserve them and bring those back to life. Being trapped in a box in the attic is only asking for deterioration. And I just want to encourage you to bring those out, go through them, enjoy them again, bring those photos back to life and those memories back to life and preserve them digitally so that they can be preserved for the long haul. Memorabilia and also verbal stories. So if there's memorabilia pieces that are very important that you don't want to lose, you want to include in this photo book, take a picture of it with your phone and use that photograph in your photo book. Also, verbal stories are important. Maybe you have more information than photos. Maybe you don't even have many photos. That's okay. Type out your stories. Save those stories. And if they're verbal, write them all down, and then we'll use those inside your family history photo book as well. Also, reach out to family members to find missing pieces. Ask questions. When we're laying this out, if you see any gaps or holes, consider who you may reach out to find the missing pieces. It's kind of like a puzzle as you're putting this together. So this is just a screenshot of the Forever website. We were just there looking at photo books, and then this is the section, the page for scanning. I just wanted to show you that if you do have that box of outdated media and the letters and the journals and the photographs, we will digitize it for you, and then once we do that, we put it into your Forever account. So once we receive it, it's permanent, and it's saved for you just one time, and you never have to digitize it again. So you can always ask your ambassador more questions if you're interested in learning how we do that and how that process works. All right, so I hope I'm not going too fast. Sometimes I'm known for speaking quickly, and I'm trying to slow down tonight. So hopefully I'm doing that for you. All right, photo book planning step number 2. So this is the curate section, the organize and plan section. Okay, so this is where you are going to organize the content that you have and lay out a plan for your family history book. So first thing I want you to do is to, map out your book. Determine how you want your book to flow. Do you want it to be chronological? Do you want it to be by person? Maybe you want it to be by geographic location. Maybe your ancestors were from another country and then they moved to another country. Maybe you want to do it that way. Maybe you want to do it by event. Map out your book. Think through that. Those are some important details that you want to do before you even begin. And then you want to determine what key family members are important to your family story. Who do you not want to leave out? Who's important to be sure that they are a part of this family history book? Outline which sections you want to have included. And what are some of the consistent things that you would like to include? Maybe it's full names. Maybe you want to make sure that every name in there is a full name. Maybe you want to make sure everyone has a birth and death date. Maybe you have some certificates that you would like to have in there, and maybe research those and find those. Maybe it's a family tree that you want to have there, or even you're building a family tree. And then within Forever, you can use the organizing tools to add details to all of these things. And the organizing tools in Forever, I'm going to tell you what they are in just a moment, but just recognize they're optional. I don't want you to think that you have to use the organizing tools because they're just optional. You don't have to, but if you do, you only have to do it one time because it's going to stay with that photo and it's going to be there in Forever, 100 years from now. So you tell the story one time and you add that into the photo, it's going to be there for future generations to see. Okay, so here are the organizing tools. There are albums. There are tags. You can add the date and descriptions. And you can also do that by bulk. So you can use the bulk organizing tools to move quickly. Okay, so I'm getting a little message here that I'm going a little too fast and that perhaps I could review the collect slide again. So I can do that, but what I would like to do is go through my next slide and then I'll go back and I'll reiterate both. How does that sound? Okay, so what I wanted to show you now are these organizing tools. I simply want to show you that when you create an album in Forever, you create that to share and also to source for a photo book. So here's the example. Very easily, remember I said it's just as easy as posting on Facebook or ordering on Amazon. You just push the green button and you're able to create an album. And you simply just type in the album name, and then you determine the privacy setting of the album with just a couple clicks, and you're able to add the description if you want to, but that's optional, and the date is optional. So you would create an album to tell the story. So you would group photos together in the album, and it also would be something you could go to go draw from when you're creating your photo book. So tags, creating a tag is just as easy. Again, just push the green new tag button, and that allows you to create any tag. But the tags are created so that you can find photos later or source them for a photo book as well. And a tag may be someone's name, it could be a place, it could be anything that you want it to be that you would want to use to go back and find that photo later. So descriptions tell the story. So you're able to add a title, a name to every photo, and add a description if you want to. Again, you don't have to use all of these, but you can. And then if you want, you can do this in bulk. So bulk organizing tools allows you to move quickly. So instead of doing that for each individual photo, you could do 22 items at one time, or 72 items at one time, or 122 items at one time. If they're all the same grouping of photos, you can add them to an album or a tag, edit their name and the description all in one shot. And then when you're finished, this would be an example of the Forever Lightbox. So every one of your photos would be in a lightbox like this, and you can see file name, description, and all the information that you just added to that. All right, so the next thing we're going to do was a live demo, but I am going to go back here and show you that collect page real quick, because I was asked to do that. Okay, so the collect page, again, was to, it was specific to your family history photo book. You're going to gather these items, convert it to digital, and then upload. And the items were family photos, documents, letters, telegrams, journals, newspaper articles, memorabilia, and even verbal stories. And reach out to family members to find those missing pieces. And if you didn't get all of this, this call is being recorded, so you can always watch it again. All right. So again, if you're looking at the curate, map out your book and determine what order you're going to use it and which key family members are important. Then what consistent things you might want to include, like full names, birth and death dates, birth certificates, death certificates, and family trees. And then we talked about all the different tools for organizing. Okay, so I'm just going to flip through these since we just talked about them all, and we're going to move into a live demonstration. I think this is going to really help you to understand how you can easily set this up to use the Forever account in order to quickly make a photo book. So let's go ahead and pop over into forever.com, and here we are. Now, when you come to forever.com, I want to encourage you, when you leave here, maybe tomorrow or even tonight, go to forever.com and check out our website. You can learn so much more about all that we offer you to help you, as you see here, clean up your photo mess now and forever. And a couple things. One is if you scroll down on the homepage, you can see my album here. I actually allow you to go check out my public profile. So I'd love for you to come in and check it out and see what you think. Also, if you're into family history, you definitely want to check out Jack Snyder's profile. He was a great friend of Forever for many years. He passed away now, but he leaves a beautiful legacy, and he is an incredible war hero, someone that we respect greatly. So I encourage you to take a look at his profile as well. The other thing I want to mention is at the top, you can see it says click to connect with a Forever ambassador for free training, sales, and more. So I want to encourage you that you have your ambassador, the person who invited you to this call, selected right here so that you're able to be connected to them. If I were to click on that, you can see that I could just type in their name and find that my ambassador. So I encourage you to do that as well. All right, so now I'm going to take you over to my Forever account. So if you come here, you can see I've got my name. This is my demo account, and these are the different pages in my Forever account. So I've got my library, albums, tags, the print project page, friends and family, and profile. And I'm not planning on going through all of these tonight. I'm really trying to focus on printing the photo book for you. So we'll do a little bit of it, and feel free to reach out to your ambassador to ask some additional questions. All right, so if I go to my library page, this is where all of my photos live. So they are all here. I can always come here at any time to access and find my photos. The albums, like I said, are the ways that we tell our stories. We group photos together to tell stories. Okay, so here are just some examples of my album. So as you can see here, I already have some albums created for family heritage. So these are ones that I've already had forever scan and digitize. I'll show you a couple of things. So this is my grandmother's scrapbook. Look how beautiful that is. This is all digitized. And now I can take these photos and bring these stories to life by creating a printed photo book. Okay, so what I started doing was I've already begun the process of creating an album. Let me just click on these right here. So this is my family history album, and you can see I have some family heritage photos, some of my older photos already there. I've got my maternal grandparents and maternal great-grandparents, and then paternal grandparents and paternal great-grandparents. So I wanted to do my family heritage book based upon people, and starting it this way with people. So I've already kind of started that process, but let me show you if I were going to create a new album. I would just hit new album, and I would maybe call it family history book. Oops, I think I spelled history wrong. History book, and I'll just put 2. And then I'll just mark it friends and family, and I'm not going to add a description. But here we are. Now I have this album, and now I can either go add photos from the library, and when I'm in the library, I can sort to go find photos easily, or I can upload, and that would go to my computer to bring photos into this album. Or the other way I can do this is go to the albums that I was just in, and then I could determine, let's see if I go to this album here, which photos I would like to bring into that family history book album. And let's just say I want to bring all of these in. I can just highlight and select them, add to album, and then I simply find that album I just created right here, family history book number 2. So I can go ahead and just click on that, and now all of those photos moved over to this album that I just created. So let's go ahead and find that album back at the beginning here, and here it is. Family history book 2 has already been created, and now I can just use these photos to create that family history book. A couple other things I could do if I wanted to was select certain photos to add to a tag. If I knew that this was the same person and I wanted to describe who she was, maybe with her name, I would simply add a tag, and I would name her Louise Beck is her name, and I would add that tag. So now if I click on that photo, you can see, let's see, oh, I must not have added that tag. I thought I had added that tag. Let's add a tag now. Louise Beck, add tag. Okay. Whoops. Well, that is how that should work, but maybe it wasn't working appropriately. Let me just try one more time. Okay, so it has been tagged. Maybe I just need to refresh and give it a moment here. Yep, all right, so we'll just give that a little bit of time, but that's exactly how you would add a tag. All right, so let's go ahead now and head back over to the presentation that I was giving you, and then we will look at the process of taking that information and putting it into a photo book here in just a moment. But now we've kind of looked at albums and we've looked at tags. So the third step in our process is to create a photo book. And this is the celebrate part. So this is the part where you can quickly and easily create a photo book. And like I showed you just a bit ago, there are 28 templates to choose from. Vintage Family Memories is the one we're talking about tonight. And there's actually 60-page templates in there. You simply select an 8x8, a 12x12, hardcover or softcover book. These are the different options to choose. This is a price range for a 21-page book. And if you do need extra pages, they're $1.19 a page, and you can add them up to 99 pages. So once you're finished with your book, I encourage you to proofread it and then share it with other people and let them proofread it. But the one thing I always talk about is just print. Like, just get it to print, because I don't want to encourage you to spend a lot of time focusing on making it perfect. Just print it and enjoy it and share it. And I just find that making it perfect is not as important as just making it. So I encourage you to print quickly. And when you do that, feel free to order multiple copies. That's the beautiful thing about this. You can order again and again, and you can order multiple copies, and you can actually share a link of the digital book with other people as well, so they can see the digital file too. All right, so now we're going to go in and look at creating the book. We created the album and we created tag, and now we're going to go into print project and show you exactly how you can create a book. So this is just an example of my account, some of the recent books that I've created. Here's the print project page. Let's head on over to Forever Again. And now we're again at print project. Let's just click create a new photo book. And this is the meat of our call tonight. So like I said, we're going to work on the Vintage Family Memories book. So I'm going to click Get Started. And here we are. This is the template in the book. And now I've got some decisions to make. I can determine if I want an 8x8 or 12x12 softbound or hardbound book. We'll just stick with the 8x8 softbound as it came up like that. And these are all the pages that are going to be in this book. All right, now I'm going to try to slow down a little bit here and take this slow and show you exactly how this works. So here we are in the cover, the first part of this book. And as you look across the top, you can see when you're ready, you just add it to the cart when you're ready to purchase. We're going to talk about adding a page if you want to add pages as you go, because you remember you can go up to 99 pages. And you can also rearrange pages. If you make some pages and you think, you know what, I need to add a couple pages before that, or I'd like to take these pages back to the end, you can do that as well. And then you can edit the title. So if you want to just call it Family History, and you could just make it whatever you want. My last name is Murray, so maybe I just put Family History Murray. And that way it's personalized and I know my own book, and you can see what I have been creating, softbound photo book 8x8, and the price will continue to change as you add more pages. So again, this is the front cover, and all we need to do is go in and add a photo. Okay, so now when we're adding a photo, we can add from the library, or we can add from an album or from a tag. And if we've done our homework and we've set up our albums in a way that they're very easy to access, and we've organized those albums in a way, it will be very easy to grab photos and just put them into the account or into the photo book. So this is the family history photo book that I had added these photos. And all I need to do now is click the photo that I want in that spot. Let's just say I use this group photo. That's going to be a really nice one. You can see that the frame is showing there. So if I just click on it, I have some options. I can zoom that photo in, so I'm able to see that photo and see all the places, and I can move it around as well. Okay, so there we go. So I think that looks pretty good. I also have the tool to rotate or replace if I'd like to put a different photo in. I can also move that photo, and I can remove that photo as well. So moving the photo would be if I wanted to place it on another photo box within the same page. And then when it's time to enter the text, I simply put in the text, So if I just call this family history of the Murray family. Oops, okay, so I've entered too much text. So it tells you when you have entered too much text. So maybe I'll just say Murray family history, save the changes, and then I'm able to enter more text down here. And I will say going back 4 generations. Or you could put a date or whatever you'd like to put there. So that concludes me creating the front cover of this photo book. Okay, so now I could scroll down and do the next page. You can see there's lots of text boxes here. And again, I can enter text here on the title. And when you're entering a lot of text, it may be a good idea for you to have your text already pre-written in like a Word document. You've already typed it up. And then you can very easily copy and paste it right in the text boxes here. You're certainly able to type it in as you're thinking about it as well. But if you've already documented your history and you already have a lot of that typed up, a good idea would be to copy and paste and just add them that way. And again, add your photo like I just showed. All right, I'm going to show you another thing. So let's say that I like this page and I want to add these photos, but I just want a page here that's only text because I've got a lot of story to say. So what I would do is change the page design. I would click on that, and now I'm able to select a different page to come in. And you can see all of these here are just text pages. So I could select something that's just text, or maybe I just want one large photo, or maybe a photo and a text box. So you can see there's 60 different pages that you can choose from depending upon how many photographs you have and how much text you have for each page. So this is just really fun for you to come in and take a look at how that, all the different options. But let's just say I want to do a blank page of text. That's how easy it is for me to change from one page to the text page. And so here again, I could just copy and paste, or I could type out all the text. And then I just continue working through each of these pages, changing out the page design as I want to, or leaving it as it's been set up. And then I'm able to add pages at the end. You know, if I want more than the 21 pages, I can come in here and just add whichever pages I'd like to add and continue doing that up to 99 pages. So as you can see here, the last autosave was at 10:59 p.m. Oh, am I already that late? Wow. All right, I gotta wrap this up. And it continues to autosave for you. One thing I wanted to say before we continue on, and we are wrapping up here very soon, but I just wanted to take you back to an album and give you a tip. So when you are organizing your albums, let's just say I'm going to organize these family heritage photos. Let's say this is the album I'm going to source from when going into the family heritage book. It's a very good idea for me to put these in the correct order. So if I wanted to edit the custom order, I would say, well, I know I want this photo to be the cover, and then I'm going to start with the oldest photos first. And so I want to put all of these very old photos first. I know exactly which ones they are. And then I can kind of put them in order here so that when I am back in the photo book and I go to this album, it's very easy for me just to grab one photo at a time going in that specific order, okay? I can just hit done reordering now. The other thing that I can do, and I kind of made mention this to you as well, is I can create albums based on how I want the book to flow. So we did kind of talk about that. And again, you know, maybe I'd want to start with my maternal great-grandparents and do this whole album in the photo book first. So all of these photos would be in the photo book. Again, I could edit the order if I knew which ones I wanted to have in there first. And then I would know after I get finished with maternal great-grandparents, then I'm going to move to maternal grandparents, and then I'm going to move to paternal great-grandparents. So I kind of have a flow and a structure of the photo albums that I'm using to draw from in the Heritage book. So I hope that makes sense as well. All right, so I'll click back over to the family history book that we were doing, and just wanting to show you that you can always come back to this book by clicking edit, and you can always get back into it. It's saved automatically, and you just continue adding your photos and adding your stories. So let's go back and take a look at some examples of some pages that have already been completed. This is a beautiful spread. Another one that's been completed, a lot of great information and stories. And I love this one with the family tree. And I just like to finish and close by asking you again and reminding you that you must define your why, your reason for doing this before you can begin with the what and the how. And in closing tonight, I hope that I've inspired you and that you're able to think of your own why, of why you're here and why you want to create a printed photo book. But I also feel like I hope that I have given you the what and the how as well to get started. So I just want to offer you something. I gave this presentation not so long ago at a conference, at a root set conference actually, which was a genealogy conference out in Salt Lake City. And I decided, wouldn't it be great if I could give this conference for ambassadors to invite guests. And also we had a special going on this month for ambassadors who have in-person forever print events in the month of March, would be able to get an extra 15% off any forever print photo book for themselves and also for their guests. So we decided that we would allow this event to be considered a in-person forever print event. And I just want to let you know that you are able to receive this coupon. So if you have been invited by an ambassador, you'll need to just ask your ambassador, and they will give you the coupon code to use that extra 15%. It is stackable, so you can use it with other coupons. And if you are an ambassador and you need to get the code, follow these instructions and just email ericaberg@forever.com with your, just letting her know that you attended tonight and you'd like to have a coupon code. We'd be happy to share that and give that to you. So I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. And again, please contact your forever ambassador to help you get started with preserving your memories and creating a printed photo book or any additional questions that you might have. I really had a great time with all of you tonight. I thank you that you took time out of your night to be here with me and learning more about how Forever can help you preserve your memories and create a printed photo book. I encourage you, and I hope that you get out there and get that book printed. I hope you can get that book printed in the next couple of weeks and take advantage of that coupon. So I'm looking forward to maybe doing some more of these in the future. Thank you for joining us tonight.